The whispers began in the most unexpected place. A tiny grocery shop tucked between the old stone cottages of the Scottish Highlands. The shopkeeper, used to locals and the occasional tourist passing by, nearly dropped her basket when she saw the two familiar faces walking in. Sam Heughan and Caitríona Balfe, looking nothing like international stars and everything like a couple slipping into a quiet routine. They weren't surrounded by cameras. They weren't promoting anything. They weren't even trying to hide, not really. But something about the way they moved, comfortably close, quietly synchronized, ignited the first spark of a rumor that would soon explode across the fandom. Sam Heughan and Caitríona Balfe were living a secret family life in the Highlands. At first, fans dismissed it as fantasy. They'd heard every outrageous theory imaginable over the years. But then more pieces began to fall into place, one after another, forming a picture too compelling to ignore. It started with photos posted by locals, nothing dramatic, just fleeting glimpses. Sam buying fresh bread at dawn. Caitríona picking up flowers at a weekend market. The two of them walking side by side along a narrow country lane, dressed casually, laughing like people who had nowhere else to be. These weren't red carpet smiles. These were quiet smiles. Private ones. And then there was the cottage. A small stone house at the edge of a forest, with a view of rolling hills and a chimney that smoked every morning as if someone lived there full-time. Neighbors had seen Sam there before. After all, he was Scottish, and the Highlands were practically his backyard. But Caitríona? Her presence changed everything. One elderly couple swore they saw her unlocking the gate one rainy afternoon. Another swore they heard the sound of two voices inside, one unmistakably Irish, one undeniably Scottish, arguing playfully about who burned dinner. Soon, gossip spread through the nearby villages, and with it came a wave of fascination. Rumors grew even stronger when a hiker posted a blurry photo of Sam and Caitríona trekking together through Glenfinnan, backpacks slung over their shoulders like a pair on a weekend getaway. No security, no entourage, no production crew, just two people moving as though the world outside the Highlands didn't exist. And then came the detail that made fans lose their minds completely. A family visiting from Denmark claimed that during their stay in a small inn, they saw Sam and Caitríona in the outdoor garden at dusk. Caitríona sitting on a bench, Sam handing her a mug of tea, the two talking softly while watching the hills fade into twilight. The family didn't want to intrude, so they pretended not to recognize them, but the moment stayed with them. They looked settled, the mother wrote in her travel blog. Like people who belonged to that place. Like a family enjoying a quiet evening together. Meanwhile, online fans started digging deeper. They found out that Sam had been quietly spending extended periods in the Highlands between filming. They noted that Caitríona had been unusually absent from events in London and Los Angeles around the same time. They pointed out that both of them had posted vague landscape photos on Instagram, misty mountains, forest paths, cottage windows, pictures that, when compared carefully, seemed to be taken from the same region. Sometimes even the same angle. Coincidence? Not anymore. Journalists soon joined the chase, but they found something curious. Whenever Sam or Caitríona were asked directly about their personal time in Scotland, both would smile politely and change the subject. Not deny, not deflect, just redirect. The redirecting only made speculation grow stronger. Then came the story from a local cafe owner, one that fans replayed endlessly. She claimed Sam and Caitríona had been in her shop more than once, always around closing time, always choosing the same quiet corner table. They would talk comfortably, intimately, sometimes leaning close, sometimes sharing a look that spoke of understanding only years of partnership could create. They felt like family, the owner said simply. Whatever kind of family it was. Nothing dramatic happened, no paparazzi shots, no scandals, just consistent, unexplainable sightings that painted one undeniable image. Away from Hollywood, away from the cameras, Sam Heughan and Caitríona Balfe lived differently. Softer, quieter, closer. And just when the world thought it had all the clues, a new question emerged. Why the Highlands? Why that cottage? And what were they really doing there, together, hidden beneath the Scottish mist? The answer was more surprising than anyone expected. The truth behind Sam Heughan and Caitríona Balfe's mysterious Highland routine didn't surface in a headline or an interview. It came quietly, in fragments, whispered by those who had seen more than they realized. And when all of those fragments were pieced together, the picture that emerged was far more intimate, and far more unbelievable, than anyone imagined. It began with a schoolteacher from a nearby village who mentioned, almost casually, that Sam had donated books to a local youth program. Nothing extraordinary about that. He was known for his philanthropy. But then she added that Caitríona had visited the children as well, reading stories in her soft, warm voice while Sam helped set up chairs and tidy the space. No press, no announcement, just two people giving their time. The teacher hadn't even realized who they were until a colleague recognized them. They behaved like guardians of the place, she recalled. Not celebrities passing through, but people who cared. Suddenly, the phrase, secret family life, began to take on a new meaning. It wasn't about romance or scandal, it was about belonging. According to several locals, the cottage Sam used was more than a hideaway. It was a place he retreated to when the world became too loud, a refuge in the mountains. What surprised people was how naturally Caitríona had become part of that refuge. Some said she visited often. Others swore she had a key. But the most revealing detail came from the elderly couple living across the lane from the cottage. They rarely spoke to tourists, but when approached gently, they shared something astonishing. Sam and Caitríona weren't just staying in the Highlands. They were participating in the community. They help with little things, the old woman said. Fixing fences, carrying groceries, attending Sunday markets. They've joined us for tea more than once. Always polite, always kind. They fit in like family. Her husband nodded. It's the way they look out for each other. You see it even when they think no one's watching. That statement sent the fandom spiraling. Fans dissected every sighting, every memory, every blurry photo. And the more stories emerged, the clearer the pattern became. Sam and Caitríona moved through the Highlands like two people sharing a life. Maybe not in the romantic way tabloids fantasized, but in a way undeniably bonded, grounded, and real. One hiker described an encounter on a trail near Glencoe. She had twisted her ankle, and before she could call for help, a couple appeared out of nowhere. Sam and Caitríona, bundled in hiking gear, alert and concerned. Sam helped her stand while Caitríona checked for swelling with surprising confidence. They worked together like they'd done it 1,000 times, the hiker said. They kept calling each other, love, and, dear, casual, warm, completely natural. Was it Irish and Scottish habit? Or something more? The fandom didn't know, but they knew this. Whatever existed between the two stars went beyond a screen partnership. Another breakthrough came when a local shop owner posted a photo, not of Sam or Caitríona, but of a handwritten thank you note taped near the register. The note simply read, "Thank you for always welcoming us like family. We cherish this place more than words can say. SC. No signatures, no flourish, just sincerity." And that's when entertainment journalists realized the truth. The Highlands weren't a scandalous hideout. They were a second home, a private world Sam and Caitríona had protected fiercely from industry scrutiny. But why? That answer came from an unexpected source, one of the Outlander crew members, speaking anonymously. According to them, the Highlands had played a crucial role during the most stressful years of filming. Whenever production became overwhelming, whenever the weight of fame felt unbearable, Sam and Caitríona would escape north for a few days. To breathe, to rest, to reset. They kept each other grounded, the crew member said. Those trips weren't about romance. They were about survival, friendship, and loyalty. They became each other's chosen family. Chosen family. Two words that reframed everything. The secret life the world had speculated about wasn't a romantic plot twist. It was something deeper, quieter, and perhaps more meaningful. It was about two people who found sanctuary in the same place, who shared burdens the public never saw, and who built a bond strong enough to feel like home. As the revelations spread, the fandom reacted in waves: excitement, awe, confusion, and overwhelming tenderness. Because in a world obsessed with drama, the truth was unexpectedly beautiful. Sam and Caitríona's secret life wasn't about hiding love but about preserving a space that belonged only to them. A space where fame couldn't follow. Where pressure couldn't break them. Where friendship became family. And somewhere in the mist-covered hills of the Highlands, that quiet life continues, protected, cherished, and forever out of reach to those who only see them through the glare of the spotlight.